Hi there, Carl Massy here, coach, author of a few books, strategist, and this is the third video on a just mini video series I'm doing where I give a little bit more information for those people that are looking at the Processing Your Limiting Belief workshop that I've created. I've been doing it live for a couple of years, but people have asked whether I could create an online version. So I've created an online version. And I'm just doing these little videos so you can find out a little bit more about what's behind the scenes when you go the deep dive into the actual workshop. So the video that I'm going to, or the piece that I'm going to talk about today relates to how beliefs are formed. And this is important for us to know. Once we become wise of something, once we become aware of something, then it's much easier for us to do something about it. So part of the workshop is about expanding your knowledge to understand, why things have occurred, so then you can make different choices. So this video is about how limiting beliefs are formed, and limiting beliefs can be formed anytime through our life if the emotional intensity is strong enough. So something with huge emotional intensity can cause a belief to be formed in a split second. For a lot of us, some of our most, I was going to say invasive, I'm not sure that's the right word, but some of our most core limiting beliefs are implanted when we're very young, sort of, say pre-7. In that stage, we're in like a brainwave state where we're just sponging things up. We don't have the emotional, mental capacity to discern whether something someone tells us is a good idea or not. And because we're dependent on certain people in our life for our survival at those times, we take a higher level than normal sense of agreement, I guess, with what those people say. So we want to be in rapport and bonded with those people. So when someone says something, as we get older, we might go, that's stupid, that's ridiculous. But as we're young and we really want that person and we're close to that person, we need that person, whether it's a mother, father, auntie, uncle, grandfather, teacher figure, it's really important the words that person says, and we have deep respect for that person. So we're just going to take this stuff in. And while we're taking in a lot of great stuff, we're going to take in a bunch of stuff that is absolute crap and is doing a disservice to us in life. We can take in a belief when we're 5 years old, and we can still be playing that out when we're 45 years old. It might be that we formed this belief when we were young, cause us to contract or push back or go through a particular behavioural thing, and we never outgrew that. Maybe we refined how we do that, our 45-year-old expression of that tantrum that we're throwing because we have a belief around a particular thing. We might have a belief that, if someone says this to me, it means they don't love me. And the 5-year-old showed it in a certain way, and the 45-year-old shows it in a more refined way, but the same thing is playing out. That same thing where someone's contracting, closing up, pushing themselves up. Maybe it's disrupting the relationship they're in, the intimate relationship. Maybe it's disrupting the professional relationships. Maybe it's causing them to not go for opportunities that exist there because they've got this internal story going on. And the thing is, we've all got these internal stories going on. So it's about identifying which are the most invasive, which are the most limiting, which are the most disempowering for us. And if we can identify which they are, and then we can go through a process, and in the limiting belief workshop, I've got a process, a neuro-linguistics programming, NLP process, to actually cause an internal shift, to cause rewiring of the brain. And that's what needs to happen. We identify this limiting belief, but as soon as we go unconscious, and the second video I did was talking about how much of the time we're unconscious, we're not consciously aware in a present moment. So we're influenced by our subconscious beliefs, those subconscious programs, those subconscious stories. They drive us on autopilot a lot of the time. So we want to understand what these limiting beliefs are, and when we can identify what they are, we can go through a process of shifting them. Suddenly we have a new empowered belief, because we don't just want to remove that limiting belief, we want to put a new empowered belief in. And when we have this new empowered belief, it causes us to, new belief comes in, causes us to feel differently. We suddenly feel more expansive, more empowered. This causes us to behave in a completely different way, and because we're behaving in this way, we're getting a completely different set of results. So that's what we're about, and that's the journey I want to take you on through the Processing Your Limiting Beliefs workshop. Whether that's you come and see me live and we work live through it, or whether that's going through the online version which you have access to. I take you through an understanding and go deeper and deeper. The successful mind, I go quite deep into this thing, but in the workshop, even deeper, leading everyone to a point of understanding, then identifying which their core limiting beliefs are, and then going through this very powerful process to actually work through this limiting belief, this disempowering belief, and replace it with an empowered belief. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, I'd love to take you on this journey. This is the biggest change maker that I do with all of my private clients. I take them through this process of understanding what their limiting beliefs are. I help them to understand the impact of those limiting beliefs, and then I take them through this process. And it's the singular thing, I think, in my arsenal that creates the biggest, most monumental, most quick shift in the course of someone's life. So if that sounds like something that might be of interest to you, then check out the workshop. If you've got any questions that I haven't answered, or maybe I've created more questions from what I've said, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to serve you and help you in any way I can. So on that note, check out the details, click on the links, find out more about this workshop. I'd love to support you through the workshop, and that's about it. So wherever you are on this beautiful, gorgeous, incredible planet of ours, have an absolutely fantastic day. Maybe I'll see you on the other side. Maybe our paths will cross at some stage. I wish you all the very best, and take care.